think I've got it. Microphone system, webcam, speakers, headphones. Yeah, sorted. There's a kind of hush all over the world.
Good morning.
Hello, David.
Sounds like you're in the bathroom.
It does. This phone's very strange.
Hello, Christine.
Hello.
You beat him to the. You beat him.
What's going on? My screen's not right.
Hang on.
That's better. The host has asked you to start your video. Start your video.
It makes it easier if I do that. Then you can press a button.
Where are we? Right. View. Gallery. Right. Hello, Christine. Hello, David.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right,
I'm on my laptop today, so this is. I'm not quite sure if I've done it right.
Looks all right from here.
Looks uncomfortable.
Oh well, as long as you can hear me all right and I can see you, that's fine.
Yeah.
Good.
No problem. You all right, Chris?
Yep, good, thanks. You?
Yeah.
Really good?
Joyce has arrived.
Hello, Joyce.
Morning, Joyce.
Morning, Joyce.
Morning. Hi.
Oh, she's gone again.
I'm here.
I
am here, honestly.
Got your hair up.
Yes, I'm still counting the days. I've 10 more to go.
What, before you have an haircut?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And unfortunately, if my second jab comes a week like my husband's has, it's probably going to be on the same day, and that's not a good choice.
No. No. Oh well.
I don't want to have to make a choice.
Morning.
Well,
morning, Carol.
Morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Hi.
Hello.
Your hair up, Joyce.
I didn't notice.
Oh.
He lied. Oh, dear.
So, how are we all today?
Yeah, not too bad.
I'm bruised.
Why, what have you done? Oh, God.
Ooh.
Oh, that was just gardening at David's, and we dug up a huge bamboo, and he wanted it replanted because it was right in the way where the summer house was going. So we dug it up and managed between us to get it into a wheelbarrow, and then the wheelbarrow tipped over and landed on me.
Yeah.
I tried to save it stupidly. I should have just let it go.
Oh. Did you fall over?
Oh, yeah, I went down with a bang. Yeah, but as you can see,
You've got to be careful. You don't want to break your wrist or something.
I know. There's a tiny little.
Which hand is it? Which hand is it?
Right.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, that's your painting hand.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. It doesn't make any. I bruise very easily anyway because of the blood thinners, but it just broke the skin a tiny bit, and God, didn't it bleed? I thought that was the annoying part, and then of course the bruises come out.
Do you have just a nice pack job, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I just washed it, stuck a plaster on it, and carried on.
Yeah, it's a lovely day out there.
Yeah,
it is today.
Yeah,
I
I was in
nice tomorrow.
I was in the shower and I started to sing, and it was Ken Dodd came to my head, came in my mind, and it was like, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day for having a shower and singing. Was it, if I said you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me? Oh dear. I don't know what well, it got Mel up. It woke Mel. Melanie got up a bit earlier. Probably a shock. She's probably having a nightmare. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear, never mind.
What's that? What's news this week? Any news? Stephen, he keeps ringing me. It is funny, but if I didn't know who it was, it'd be quite worrying. Saturday morning, I had my phone. I wasn't near my phone. I don't know where I was. I might have been on charge, in which case I bugger off and leave it to do its biz, don't you? And I come back, look at my phone. There's about 6 phone calls from Stephen Art Group. It's
oh gosh.
And I got another one early afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and I was like, "Hello, Stephen. Are you stalking me?" What? No. When we going back? But you said Saturday. After, all right. Oh dear, so funny.
Not like me. The other night, I'd gone to bed and I was sort of just checking my phone before I switched it off for the night, and I don't know what I did, but I accidentally pressed video call to one of the ladies that goes to keep fit with me.
Oh no.
And it was quarter past 11, and I was in bed, and before I could figure out how to stop it ringing, I thought, what? I was just so shocked that it rang. I'm looking at my phone. I didn't have my glasses on because I just sort of picked the phone, unplugged the phone because it was on charge, and I obviously touched something. So I thought, oh, what's happening? What's going on? Anyway, she answered and she said, are you all right? What's the matter?
Oh no.
She was in bed. I was in bed. So it's gone from not seeing her for 6 months to seeing her in bed, having a conversation.
Just,
dear. That was quite the only excitement I've had this week.
Oh dear.
I just sent. Don't know. I can't see Pauline, so I've just sent her an invite, just in case she's can't find an email or something.
Yeah.
Which is.
Where's Anne this morning, Gordon?
She's just putting the meat in the oven, joint in the oven for lunchtime.
Oh. I thought she was at the hairdresser's.
She's plucking the fur off as we speak.
She's got one booked up, but not yet.
No.
She's not coming on screen yet.
Oh.
What's she going to do tomorrow? Put a bag over her head?
Yeah.
I've had 2 clear skies last night and the night before, so.
She's cooking, she says.
Oh, right.
She's doing that Barbados thing turned out interesting.
Yours was good.
Every time someone sent me one, they were going, yeah, that one easy. Yeah. It was like, not doom and gloom, but it was like, yeah, that was harder than we thought it was going to be. And I know the next day when I looked at mine, I thought, yeah. And I remember saying to Gordon and Anne on Friday, like, for Barbados, it doesn't seem to be bright and sunny. It doesn't have that sort of intrinsic glow that I'd expect if I'd have been at Barbados.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the sea is very blue.
Yeah, it just. So then I tried to instill some colour, some bright yellow into it. Of course, I've stopped doing that. It's a fatal thing. It doesn't work. You say that. going to do it this afternoon.
Oh,
I've got the second, I'll show you later, the second large wedding picture of Muddyford.
all right.
I've been working on that for the last few days because I set myself the target, and I sent them an email saying, look, come and pick it up on Friday, you know, come view and collection on Friday. That's knowing that was 2 weeks ago, that I allocated a week to finish, or at least, you know, finish the second version that I've been putting off. And then this week, I starting on Monday, is to make the frame for it. Here she comes. Pauline's arrived. Making the frame. So, because I know these things of old, you get part way through and something goes wrong. Either you make the frame the wrong size, one length's too long, and the days just sort of disappear. Morning!
Morning.
A bit late. My computer was a bit slow this morning. I couldn't.
You're still on GMT, are you?
I think so.
You're on Universal Time. I was up early this morning. I did this is called the Christmas tree nebula. If you look at, I've spent a bit of time on it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I think I can, I don't know if it'll work on here. I can make it even brighter. I don't know if does it show up?
Yeah.
Lovely.
So I can,
Looks like a funny eye in the corner.
don't say anything. That's really weird. Everyone in the world thinks of it as the Christmas tree nebula, and Christine spots an eye in it.
It looks like
a dog.
it looks a bit like a dialect to me. I can see arms, a body, and a helmet.
Well, I can see a dog with a Christmas hat on.
The reason that it is looking a little whatever is that it's only, I've used a special filter, so I've only picked up this is an astronomy lesson now, hydrogen alpha light, which is red, and oxygen 3, which is blue, which are the sort of two predominant light sources in the universe. So it comes out like that. But sometimes the other ones I use the color lens, or the color, no filter on it, and it does come up lots of, it looks like baubles on a Christmas tree, all the stars. And you can put little bits of green in as well to make it look. I've done it in the past, but that was from, I'm still doing catch up from October, December, and a bit of fun. What's today's subject? Ooh, go to the quick cam. Oh,
It's a fence for the poppy.
It's a fence with a poppy. I just thought of it as the poppy. I didn't think of the fence, really.
Well,
It's got to be sat somewhere. It's kind of my fence. I'm hoping that it's a simple subject and we'll all have an early lunch.
You say that every week.
I know. I thought that would make you smile. This time, I didn't. Let me extend my cable without pulling all the plugs out. This time, I'm still using this little grid system down through. Don't know why I seem stuck with that. I quite enjoy doing it. It takes a bit of pressure off. I can zoom that in, I think. So there's a lot of noise in the background. I've masked, just to warn you, Carol, I've masked out
Oh
the flower.
no. I know I had so much trouble with that.
Mhm.
I actually, well, this is the one I use. I got this from Jackson's. The other one in the pot, it's the same stuff, but I poured it in here. This has stayed fluid. The other one dehydrated or dried out.
Yeah,
But
well,
it's
I
got,
bought one of those,
well,
but
it's got that pin thing in it. But
I've not got one of those. No, I just got it in the pot.
yeah. Well, watch it. Make sure you keep it tight, because mine went solid like a lump of. It was like a
I
rubber.
just want to do one painting. I always have 2 goes at these paintings. The first one, because I had a bit of pink on my brush, and I put it on the soap, and then the masking stuff, it all went pink on the picture, and it wouldn't come out. Oh,
One thing I was doing, I just had a quick think. You know, I was look at the picture before I start. The first thing I noticed is I can't tell what's leaf and what ain't in amongst this. So there's going to have to be a bit of artist
make up your
doodah in
own.
there. Yeah. Mind you, this picture is better than the one I was looking at yesterday, which is smaller. So, of it. The other thing I was thinking about was the sort of texture of the wood and that. There's several potential ways of doing it.
Not this scraping again with this card, is
Could
it?
do, yeah.
Oh.
Well spotted. That is
More disasters.
no.
Well, my rocks were.
Yeah, but I did come up. With hang on,
An
I've lost a bit.
idea.
I did come up with another idea. So there's 3 different ways. Can you tell what it is yet? I think 2 of them were scraping. We'll just do it a minute. If I can find a nice brush. Think about it. I'm a bit tetchy at the moment because of since that thing I did with what were they called, Rosemary's brushes with the mop. I suppose did I tell everyone that? I don't think I told Anne and Gordon. I don't think I told the others. I was using a mop, and all the hairs were coming out. And I thought, oh, that ain't on. That's a posh brush, Rosemary and Co. So I sent them an email, sort of a complaint, and they sent one back saying, what? Don't believe it. Send me a photo of the thing, of the brush. So I took a photo, sent the photo, and then as I sent the photo, I just sent it, and I thought, hang on, it wasn't even one of their bloody brushes, was it?
Oh,
No.
So anyway, I thought it was like instant humble pie. A third email saying, please disregard the other emails. I'm having an OAP moment. Please ignore me. Oh dear, oh dear. They did write back saying, we understand. We all get them. I thought, oh, I felt a lot better then. Look, I don't know about the options on this sort of texture. That's a little. I've made the paper damp. There's a little bit of white. That's one way I was doing it. And you need to mix up some grey. So I think we'll take a bit. Oh, that was a bit of a watch of burnt sienna. So it was a good colour to start with. We love warmth. Add some blue. That'll give us that's a really dark grey. If you want to warm it up, add a bit of
Afternoon, everybody.
bit of red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it eventually.
So I've got a really dark grey there, with a grey colour. I just wanted a variation on the theme.
Yeah, it's spotted.
You can buy grey in a tube, which is quite nice. If it's too red, add more blue and it'll go. You can see, look, that straight away. Add a little bit more blue and it'll go grayer. And then it's just a question of. It's amazing how much water you can add to dilute the grey down to a really loose grey. And then, like you say, I think my best method was you can put light grey down and make it really dark, unless I don't think it matters which way I go. Actually, I'm going left to right, and then as Carol spotted, you can put a card on it and strike the card across, and it will give you, you'll get the texture. Let it dry off, and then you can add some finer or darker lines with a vigor or whatever, and just do that. The other way I thought, well, to me, I thought neater way was to put a graduated sort of wash of grey on, and then I thought, oh, I wonder what happens if I use the fan brush and just drag the fan brush neatly along, and lo and behold, I got quite a nice. So you can stack your credit card for now and use that, but you can make it, change the colours, add a bit of extra blue in it. I think a combination of both, maybe. I mean, it's personal, but it definitely works with the fan brush.
I think I'm going to paint it on the fence.
Sorry. What
I think
sort of paper?
I'll go and paint it directly on the fence.
Sorry, what did you say, Joyce?
What sort of paper have you got? Is it rough?
That is a not finish, but this one, but just in Blue Peter session, one I made earlier, sort of status. I've got some smooth here, and I'm actually going to use smooth today anyway. So
Doesn't squeak with me.
I think using just a dry brush and a flat, and this brush flat works as well. So that sort of gives it. But knowing me, I usually start off with damp water. But I think the fan brush, oops, I'm throwing my brushes around. It's quite handy for adding the streaks on. Just a bit of dark, add a bit of dark. I think keep going as well. I think that's the other key thing. Whoosh, looks quite nice, that. So credit cards are binned for this week by the looks of it.
Good.
Yeah, talking of paper, I've gone over to this. This is what's that place called? Stonehenge paper. I don't know where it's made or found. You get it from Jackson's. It's smooth, but it's quite robust as well. I'm pretty certain you could use both sides because it's hot pressed, which means it goes through the big calendar rollers on the paper maker machine, and one roller runs at one speed and the other roller runs at a different, slower, slightly different speed, and as the paper goes through, it smooths it down, and they're hot as well. So I'm thinking, oh, both sides are getting the treatment, whereas in not finished paper, it doesn't. Generally, it doesn't. There's a wire and a non-wire side, and as it goes through, the rollers are cold, so it doesn't. They don't get stretched. It just goes through and comes out and rolled up. Hence the reason you get generally one side. So yeah, I've gone over to this stuff. My next paper purchase, I said to Pauline yesterday, we were talking on Messenger was to get some of this, but get it thicker. This is I don't know what it is, 140 or something, but they do it a lot thicker as well, which I prefer. But I did notice that when you stretch it, it does go. You damp it to stretch it. It does go quite limp. Yeah. So don't get disappointed because it will.
See if I've got the fan brush with me in.
It's quite a good quite a good way of adding extra information. So add a bit of white on the bottom. We've got a little boat going along the sea. Just on, ta-da! Don't throw anything away. That was just, yeah. Anyway, marching on. Where's my little bit of board? I haven't got my hairdryer, so I'll have to grab that in a minute. Interesting, isn't it? I don't know. I think I might just treat each. I haven't got any clean water, but I'm having some. Just going for. I think I might just treat each panel. Look, I say we're going for an early lunch here. I mean, just by using a flat brush, it's a 1-inch brush, gives us an effect. If I damp, I've made a pencil line where the each one starts and finish. So I'm conscious that they are 3 separate pieces of wood, because I know the idiot next door put them up there. My friend, love him. I've mixed up loads of grey, but what I would say is I'm using an inch flat brush here. When you start, keep going, so you get a nice graded wash. Color wise, is there a defined color to go in? Well, let's try. This is I haven't got Alzerium crimson. Looks like crimson, but it's a red rose madder, sort of rose color. So in true Dave's Got No Fear, I'm just going to add some of that on there, see what happens. Better have a look at the picture, see what I'm supposed to be painting as well. All right, I see. Well, that's the trouble when you're having fun. Add a bit more blue into that. Here comes the scary bit, because I'm going to go over the flower. This is the last wooden panel. Drop a bit more brown on the bottom. The absorbent, what you're going to be, what I'm finding here is the absorbency of the paper is dictating the flow of or the overall look of the painting. Now I've got the fan brush, just go through bits. Dry it. Sounds like Sputnik 1.
It's my telephone, sorry.
It was Yuri Gagarin's anniversary from going into space, wasn't it? So maybe that's the what's it? It's celebrating. Your phone is celebrating Yuri's Gagarin in space. Every time you say, "Oh, this looks like simple," perhaps we go for an early lunch, you suddenly look at it and you think, here we go, back to the office, back to the drawing board, mix up some. Oh, I just flicked a load of paint on there. I'm gonna put some. Oh no! I've put the this color here is shadow, and it's next to my brown, and I'm constantly every week now putting my brush in the shadow tone, which I don't particularly want. Oh well. Now I'm just going to go with my fan brush and try and introduce some more lines. That's just a bit of a darker tone.
So what colour is that you're using then? Is that
This
a brown, do you think?
it's burnt umber, and I've added some ultramarine to it to give it just try and get some darker bits going. It's quite good fun, this. While everything's going, I'll block in the I'm using a fan brush, but hopefully I'll get away with this. And I'm just using the same bit of grey, really, but not so strong. Just drop it down. I'm going to leave the bit at the front a little bit lighter so that I can add some mossy foliagey stuff. But I'm just tapping the brush in, trying to get some undulations, because it's sort of tarmac, isn't it? Unless they probably meteorites in amongst that.
Yeah, it will do because it's short.
Just use it's a good way of using up the rubbish out of the brush. Because the star of the show, we ain't even started looking at yet, have I? I'm just dab while it's damp, just dab it up and down. At the end of towards the end later on, just you can always I'll do it anyway. Get a bit of while it's here, a little bit of sponge. If I move that up a bit, I'll have to hang on. My camera's I know, I've zoomed in, haven't I? Hang on. Is that better? A bit better. Yeah, this is the foreground here, so you can just use your sponge and sponge a few bits in or out. Just try and get some sort of effect. You know what I'd normally, well, some days I'd stick salt on it, but this paper is new to me, so in a way, well, fairly new. So I'm not used to how absorbent or non-absorbent it is, which it's more absorbent than it first appears. You think being quite flimsy and what have you, but it is quite strong. It soaks up a heck of a lot of paint quickly. Now then, not to disappoint, I'm not even thinking flower at the moment. I'm thinking we need help here. So over on my, is that the right colour? It is. Oh, and I've contaminated it with pinky colour. Never mind. We will persevere. While it's, I've lost the little pointy brush. Little pointy brush, where are you? I had them all in a little row earlier, thinking I need that one, and that one. And the one that's in the water is the little pointy brush. And the little pointy brush, I think I'm going to try with this brush, is to try and introduce a bit of white, some streaky bits into the wood at the top. This is looking a bit dull. Maybe the fan brush will work that just as well. It's not like painting the outside of your house. There's lots of different options. Been a bit strong up there. Not going to fuss that much. The bit at the top will spoil it because that's looking. You can see me looking at this tomorrow thinking, whose idea was it to paint a flipping fence? But no, I mean, it's not cut and dry. Burnt umber and, well, it doesn't. It's brown and blue anyway. Brown and blue gives us a nice, because we've done some light tones. So if I start around there, let me think. The scale is slightly different. So I'm just going to add some. Let's go and put the kettle on while I do this. You just add some. Look at what you've got and add some nice dark bits to the fence. Some extra, just to highlight, just to bring out some of the. There's no reason why they're knots, aren't they? It's really damp, this paper. I do this every week. Get carried away and my paper gets damper and damper. There's something to do with watercolours, isn't it?
Right, Dyson has a lot in it.
So if I can get a bit more
Doesn't really have.
I still maintain there's something about this palette. Gordon told me to buy this one. I mix up some colour in the bottom like that. And then 10 minutes later I think, well, I'll just get a bit of that colour. And it's dried. It's all sort of it's something about it. They got like central heating heaters in the bottom of the plastic. It must be the type of plastic that dries. Could actually introduce a little bit of green into the grey. They're moss-eaten panels. So I think that was there's a bit of green I added in amongst the grey, so it gives you a sort of a nice off colour. I think if you've got a fan brush, my own personal thoughts at the moment are the fan is the man. Oh, that was good. The fan is the man. I think I could have been more conscientious of the white bits on the wood, but I decided not to. That's a wooden term. Gosh, I'm full of puns today. But the colour that you're going to use most of, this is only the blocking in the start anyway, isn't it?
It was the telephone.
Oh.
The dog howls. Make the dog howl every time.
What I'm going to do here, I'm saying this is the end of it's my last fence panel where it reaches the floor. I'm going to add some raw sienna. I've made it damp, so I know the colour's going to flow. I made it damp. Bit of raw sienna. I'll show you something. Remind me C before we go. Something I want to. It relates to this. And then while it's still damp, I'm going to drop in burnt umber and blue. Just drop it in, let it do its bit. getting really nice because there's a really dark shadow at the bottom where the wood is. Go on, you can do it. While it's still, and also while it's damp, might be prudent. Is that dirty over it? Yeah, it's a dirty green. Mix up. I don't usually mix up green, but that was just a bit of dirty yellow, and I think we can just use the sponge to blob in a few nice bits on the path. Watercolors. I think that works. I've got a nice lemon pale cadmium yellow that I got to be careful with some of these colours. I noticed because I was advocating or saying about the Holbein colours look really inviting.
Wait, leave it alone. Come on. That's all.
When I checked on them, a lot of them are very opaque.
Mm.
So they're not as watery as you might think. It seems to be, it's okay, but as long as you're aware of that it is that, then I'm just using the sponge to sponge a few bits in. The problem you get is you never know which is the best bit of the sponge to sponge. But I think this is enough. Can still go darker. Whoops, get the right brush. So we haven't used that many colours as per usual. Burnt umber or brown, blue, twinger yellow, raw burnt sienna and blue, mix up a whole wad of grey and loads of water. Just going to add a few more dark elements to that. I'm just going up the brush. I'm going like that, up and down, very quickly to give it that sort of teasy randomness. Before I dry it off, I just want to make sure that I've got enough dark areas in the wood. If anything, I've made it too dark, but hey ho, it's my painting. Poppy didn't mind, it'll grow anywhere. Bloody weeds, aren't they? You can spend as much time as you like filling in the any details in the wood, and there's no reason why you can't add some green into it. Just make it look like it's. This reminds me of years ago doing ragging on the hallway to get certain effects in the old. Couldn't afford new wallpaper, so you just use old paint and just sort of ragged it away. You need to find if I can find an edge along there. Yeah, that'll do. What I'm trying to do. And then the one above it, use a bigger brush. Where's that flat brush gone? Just above it, I'm going to make a dark line across there. Try to. So as this stuff dries up so quick, try and make that look like there's a gap. Hey Joyce, Sainsbury's is here.
Really?
Yeah, I've just sent him round to you. Just
please don't. Not another interruption.
I've got them well trained. They don't. I shouldn't say really, because the bloke said he'll get me the sack if my boss finds out. But I get them to just drop the the whole thing's like in the trays, and then in the unit out the front, I've got the ones from the previous week that we've emptied. So he just drops the trays off, picks the empty ones up, and we got a little thing going. How about that?
Sounds on.
You see,
So you don't actually count the trays then when he goes back.
yeah, I'll probably have to have a look at this at some point when it's dried back. What I will do a minute. I don't know what I did with the I'm gonna
Most people won't return.
I'm going radical at the top bit. I don't know if you can see that on there.
No.
No, you can't. Hang on, I'll zoom out again because I'm doing portrait, isn't it? It's yeah, I'm going radical. So I've got a blob. I put the yellow in the thing, so I thought, oh well, look at that. I'm going to leave it like that, obviously. I think we'll add a bit of burnt umber on it. Just brighten the whole thing up.
Because the way it's sitting. Because the way it's sitting.
It could be. But it's painted straight.
Yeah, might be a good idea. That add a little bit of let's try it. Developing art as we speak, using the fan brush. Just add a little bit of yellow, warm it up a bit. Got to be careful though, because don't want to take it away from the flower. Burnt sienna would do the similar job, wouldn't it? Wish you'd stop me then, Gordon. I wouldn't have done that.
Sorry.
I would have. Normally, you stop me and say, "No, you need raw sienna, burnt sienna, Dave. Burnt sienna, warm it up." But can always scrape a bit off, can I? Yeah, there you go. Didn't work on that one because I got a load of paint on the leftover on the edge of the thing. Anyway, that'll do. Lovely jubbly. That's the only trouble with scraping. You have to rub the edge off as well, otherwise you're getting a hell of a mess. Just dry it off. It looks better from my view than it does on the screen. It's usually the other way around. Oh well. But
You won't believe me.
don't panic, Commander. I've got to find the plug. Got an extension lead, and then the hairdryer. Oh, come here, you little rascal! I don't often use a hairdryer on a painting. So normally, if I'm doing one of my paintings, I just sort of leave it where it is, let it sort itself out, and then come back later as it dries off. You know, go and check my emails, put the kettle on, and then come back, do some more painting. I only want to dry it off so I can rub the masking fluid off. Otherwise, I will have a hole in Holy Poppy.
Yeah, that's right. That's a critical edge. No, this edge here. Yeah, that's what the notes my back works.
I put that down a little bit lower than this. So
Yeah, I know it is a bit low actually. Some leaves are too big. No, not put too forward. No, put too forward. It's a good for you can come in here. You should put some red mark coming in here. What did you got?
Because it's wood, there's no if you for Chrissy with the acrylics, there's no reason why you couldn't assume that it was painted wood. So you could paint the wood first, different colours, like blue. You know, it's different shades. Distressed blues comes to mind. Old barge boards. So a simple picture ends up being much more to it than you think. Right, that's that bit. There's the scary bit. It doesn't matter because I've actually painted the inside of the flower. I just know.
I was thinking that.
Well, I thought it was masking fluid, but it isn't. Look at that. That's a weird poppy design, isn't it? It's got a nice wood effect going for it. Oh well, best laid plans. We'll see how cool that flipping hurts your fingers. Well,
Yeah, don't get splinters, Dave.
off the wood, yeah. But it's all. I was hoping. I'm really. I'm sad that's happened. Very sad. Because it means that the poppy's not going to have the effect that I was really hoping to achieve, which was that nice, almost translucent watercolor feel. So it's going to have to revert back to plan B, I think. Well, I'll try and scrub it out a bit. See what happens. Doubt it. Doubt if it'll. Without destroying the wood. Yeah, the wood, the paper even, which is starting to lift off. You can see it straight away. But so that means Chinese white. I'm afraid. No way around it. Well, I'll try and paint the I've gone.
Yeah, we've only got the cartoon.
It's probably touched the what's it? It's only just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody knows what a fool am I. I'm back.
Yeah.
I think if you perhaps nudge a cable or something, it ups USB, innit? USB XYZ. Oh, I'm quite pleased with this actually. I think I'm getting there. Yeah, if you touch the
Wait, no. No.
want it yellow? You got it. I can change the effect from light yellow. I think that's monochrome, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm looking at the brushes, trying to see what colours I've got. Yeah, that's a bit. Maybe a bit dark. See how we get on. Colours my hands. My hands are that colour, aren't they? Got a suntan. Yeah, so that's a shame that. Now it's back to the normal everyday painting, isn't it? We've got to look for the lights behind the darks and start teasing stuff in. I think I'll. Where's me little bit of lemon yellow?
You can see what he's done.
Which is very.
Not sure it's all helpful when he's painting. It's going to confuse us. No, not a parrot going. You got the parrot going. Yeah, it's inside us. Yeah, it's not backwards. Backwards is
I think that's probably the best one, isn't it? Maybe that one. All the techniques are the usual. Little damp patch. Oops, not too much colour. Let it flow. Almost not too much colour, and he goes and puts a wodge on. Try and paint in the negative. So look for the tease out from the centre. That's close. I need to go to Specsavers. That's my trouble. I'm going to do the same to the centre of the Puppyola. Little dab of clean water. I haven't got clean water, but it's milky grey colour. I'm frightened to go in there. The bathroom, there's a spider in there. You wimp! I am. There's no doubt about it.
it's going to take about an hour.
So anyway, the colour let me do. Actually, I'm going to carry on with that little pointy brush, and try and tease out some of these. Oh, it's got that pointy brush isn't clean. See.
You're having a bad day.
Oh, don't you tell me about it. Absolutely. I need to just dab in some leaves. I think I'll try and find them. But to me, it's just a mass of a big blob of green. There's no, I can't actually define any real. So what I'm going to do is get a really loose, really watered down colour, and just go squish over the lot, and then drop in some darker colours over the top. Bit of background. Perhaps leave some of just leave a few of the little bits of white at the tips of the leaves. Drop them in. Should we have a couple of leaves down the bottom where they get to the ground? This is the boring bit. The bit where it takes all the time. The trouble is, I'm so relaxed now because I've found that I don't mind using Chinese white. So it's almost like Gordon was saying that do you paint in oils? Because you sort of get to a certain stage and think, well, I don't care. If I put too much colour on, I'll just add a bit of white over the top.
It's true.
So it gives us a little bit more confidence to say, well, I'm just mix up a bit more brown and blue to give us some darks. Going to need them at some point. It's a pretty obtuse green, those flowers. So they're more white on my picture. So looking at it, adding white to it isn't going to do anything. It's going to bring it back to reality. Some dark. I don't know. You're going to have to make up your own mind about what green you decide. There's no there's no right and wrong because my palette is what it is. Could even introduce grey to it in amongst the green. That'll bring out the highlights as well because there's loads of grey on it. So my top tip is zoom into the picture and try and pick out some individual leaves to paint, which is what I haven't really focused on here.
It's a nice little face. It's like a little fox.
A little what?
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah.
Oh. Blimey. I haven't taken I need to take those some tablets. That's it. I haven't taken my tablets this morning, Anne.
Yeah. There's 2 eyes and a nose, longish nose. It's a triangle with 3 dots. Looks like a fox face.
Ah. Yeah, there's a hound.
Nice.
There's a hound as well.
Yeah, there's a hound above it.
Yeah.
I've spoilt it now, am I?
No, it's still there.
Oh, that's all right then.
It's the big nose in the middle, that's what's doing it.
Don't know what I'm going to be able to do with this bit. I think I'll try and I'll have to paint it white for now. Tease it back later. I'm only doing it quickly just to remind myself at some point that you've got to address that. And like I was saying, Anne, the flowery bits at some point you can use a bit of white and just try and bring the flowers back to just painting the negative and paint where you see white, and perhaps try and tease some more leaves back out. Can't say that's one of my finest moments, this, but I won't give up because I'll have a look at it later and go back.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a cultivated poppy, isn't it? That's why it's pale. It's not a wild poppy.
You told me. I thought it was wild. Well, it was wild. It was in my garden.
Yeah.
Came out of a bird's bottom.
Wild ones are dark red.
Oh, right. It came out of a bird's bottom, I suppose.
I'm sure it did. Yeah, I've got some in my garden that did the same. I was looking for opium in them, but I don't think they're opium ones.
No. You'll have a load of Afghanistanis round if you did.
Yeah.
Will you nick our Afra? Will you pinch our opium?
Yeah.
It's a shame, really. Yeah. I'm gonna let that ride. I haven't got the right. It's one of those monotonous, boring. You've got to sit there with a little brush, teasing out as much as you can. That's not too bad. It'll flow. I can.
Yeah, it's going.
It'll arrive. That's one of my finer statements. Same with the little petals on this thing. Just add a little bit of shadow grey and they'll arrive. Probably best sneak out from the middle. Did you see that video I put on Facebook yesterday, Chrissy? A woman, someone's house under the floorboards was a load of bees.
Oh yes, yeah.
Well, the woman just. That was amazing. That.
Yeah, just putting her bare hands in her.
See, that one's come out quite nice now. Yeah, I was well impressed with that. It's just like I just scoop these up and put them in her new home, and she just puts them around it, grab them, and put them in the home. I mean, she smoked them first, but I mean, even so, what it was, there's a huge bees. They make nests, hive under the floorboards of the house, and
Yeah.
she had to pick up. I don't know what was it, about 3 foot square pieces of floorboards
Yeah.
to get to the hive that they were living in. And she's obviously brought hang on, I'm concentrating. Brought a white, normal beehive from
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
to transfer her in, and
They're
she
quite valuable, aren't they? No.
yeah, and she was like stood there. She said, "There it is, there she is, waiting for the queen." And
Oh.
she had like a pair of plastic. I don't know, you call them really like a ball clip, but
Yeah.
the transparent clip. There it is, and she just sort of gently went with this clipped the queen bee up, put that in the hive. Of
Yeah.
course,
Then they all
as soon
go.
as she did that, all the ones that were around, they were giving off signals to all the other bees
Yeah.
to say the queen's over here, boys. And it was amazing. There was like a whole row of they were all walking like hundreds of bees walking towards the new hive, just following the queen. It was a beautiful video. It's on
Yeah.
my timeline, Gord. If you find it, you can let Anne see it. I was gobsmacked. Well, you can always tell when I like something because I remember it the next day. Ordinarily, you know, I'll watch it. I'll go to the cinema, watch a movie, and 3 days later, I ain't got a bloody clue what it was all about.
Yeah.
People say, but they start talking about the film and aspects of it, and I'm thinking, have I seen that film? I can't remember seeing that film. And that ain't a recent thing. I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Oh, right.
The color I've got here is a rose madder color, but if you got Alzerian crimson, make it really dilute it, that'll give you a nice poppy color. You can always change the color of the plant anyway. There's no clean water, usual stuff. Look for the light areas. Paint the clean water on the light areas, whatever that word is. And just let it flow. Let the paint do the work, or the paint and the water do the work. And then what I'm going to do while that bit's settling, I'll go to the next piece, which is a large petal over here, isn't it? So I'm going to, shame I've got that grey in the front. I can't do much about it in the moment. So at some point, it might be a case of dropping some white. But we could use it to our advantage and say that it's shadow. You can see where I've rubbed the paper trying to get it off. It's left a sort of what's the word, textured area in the on the paper, which I'm left with now. I can't do much about that apart from paint it white. So clean water, find the edge, watch out for the little stamen area in the middle, I think. A little bit of paint on the brush and let it drop into the water. Don't do this, scrub it. Just let the paint flow in the. Oh, that's looking all right. I don't know what I was worried about. Well, it's not perfection because I wanted it to, because the watercolor, you girls can do it better than me. The watercolor on your clean paper on the paper will give us that nice, because those poppies, they're really sort of translucent, delicate, aren't they? They've got that lovely, you can almost, you feel that you could almost see through them, even though you can't, but it makes it look like they are. I'm just going to try and find some, oh, there's a dark bit there, isn't there? In there, not where I've put it there.
He doesn't. Usually because you're going to run him over.
This is true.
I'll just go back up there and tease a little bit dark area in there. The point of beauty of watercolor is you can lift a bit off, but I'm stuck with that now because I've got that grey bit behind it. So that's going to be a shadow, whatever happens. I'm happy as a bumblebee. Oh dear. I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to have to watch. I'll keep watching I joined Amazon Prime because I wanted to buy something on Amazon, but they wouldn't let me unless I didn't think I was doing it, but I clicked to buy it with my normal account, and lo and behold, I joined Amazon Prime for 30 days free.
Yeah, I got caught with that one.
Well, and little do they tell you, little do you know, you wouldn't know, but if you log into your brand new Amazon Prime account, tucked away in a little square checkbox, if you click it and fill up the checkbox, then you'll get an email 3 days before it's due to expire, so you get the chance to cancel. I thought, well, that's very decent of you not to tell me that little box was there. So I'm optimistic that I'll get an email. I'm just mixing up a bit more dark colour.
Yeah. I had to get my son to get me out of it, and he said it was quite difficult to actually cancel it after a couple of days because I didn't want it. I don't do internet shopping much, and I don't want to pay $8.99 or whatever it was per month.
Yeah,
he said it was really quite difficult to get out of.
Yeah, I think it's nearer 15 quid now.
$7.99.
Oh, we do it. We have got an Amazon. James has got an Amazon Prime account.
Yeah. You get all television and everything, don't you? There's lots of things in it.
Oh yeah, I've been watching.
I love mine. I love it. I've had it for ages.
Yeah, I don't. I if it's.
Philip uses it all the time.
Yeah, I don't.
There's lots on the online, but I don't.
I'm not anti it. I'm just. I don't need it because James has already got Amazon Prime. So what we do is put our Mel's card on his account.
Yeah.
On that account. So then I'll just send James an email.
Yeah.
With the detail, and he'll just order it for me.
That's what I do. I get Philip to do it.
And you can change the address as well. So I've done it. Yeah, I've done it. I've sent my mum birthday presents and things using Amazon.
Yeah, Philip uses it all the time, but we wouldn't. So.
Yeah. This is. I'm at that sort of stage now where.
Making a flower.
We're just filling in the gaps. As I say, I spoilt it by not masking out the centre of the thing. I think I'm too dark there, and too light there. Not dark. So what I'm going to do, lift a bit of that off.
Young working class peoples in Northern Ireland have been failed. Don't know what for.
I think what I might try and do.
Just what comes up on everybody's
try and rescue this area. Perhaps soften it down with a little bit of
You know, I haven't got Facebook open. No,
Don't think I'm going to get away with it.
just so I'm starting.
This is Anne Coleman territory here, I think.
Sorry? What?
Anne Coleman territory.
Painting
Delicate flowers.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, because I'm not going to get. You can see what I was trying to achieve.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it so it looks really translucent, but I've failed in that respect. I've failed. So, but I'm not going to. Well, I thought the camellia I did the other day. I was thinking that was a bit. It was a bit. I don't know. Not to my. Not my finest hour, but actually I've filed it away, and I'm thinking I'm looking forward to building a frame for that. So I've got a funny feeling it looks really nice. The problem is, as we all know, if you're too close when you're painting it, you tend to be too bloody close to it, and it pays to walk away, come back, and reassess it and relook at it, and it does. Look much better. Who was it? Pauline said the other day, my paintings look really good from Bournemouth Pier. Falling off the end of. That was fun. That's one of my jokes, that is. She's pinched that. Bernard Shaw used to make me like that. His one wasn't it? People used to come up to his stall at Pine Walk. I've said this before, but it's a good story. And he was a good salesman, and they'd be looking at his pictures. His pictures are bloody good anyway. And they'd be looking at his painting, and he'd just look at them and say, "As seen on TV." And people, oh, really? Yeah, they were on top the telly last night. I brought them up earlier on.
I like it.
I love it. It's an oldie, but I was. Everyone else used to be scared stiff of Bernard because he was a bit like a British bulldog. He had a broken nose, flat as a pancake, flat nose, and built like he was like a boxer dog, a bulldog. And even though he was in his 70s stroke 80s when he finally gave up the art world, or the world in general as that happens, but he could be quite aggressive. Quite aggressive. It's a slight understatement. I did. Somebody, if you're at an exhibition or if you're out anywhere like that, trying to craft show, whatever, trying to sell stuff, you always get some smart arse youth come along with some crass comment. And I remember Bernard, this kid, I was next to him, and this kid came and said something smarmy to him. And Bernard just said, "You know effing nothing about art, now F." And this kid, we're talking of a supposedly delicate octogenarian, and this kid sort of looked, and he just sort of went, "Nah, I'm not going to mess with this one." And he just sort of slouched away into the background, like.
He would.
Yeah, he would. There was no. I love telling this story. I don't care if it's a repeat, because one of his favourite. He was like during the war, and he was a pilot. No, I think he was a pilot or a navigator, one or the other. He's in the RAF anyway, bombing people. And he told me, he said, I didn't know what what I wanted to do, you know, during what service to join and what in the war, when the war kicked off. He said, but I did a bit of research as it got to the point where he had to join, and he sort of worked it out somehow or another that being a navigator on these certain flights in the European zone over in Italy and that, you had a quite a high rate of survival. So that's why. So he targeted his job in the during the war based on that. I suppose you know, if you think like people going on to convoys and all the rest of it, where it's like, or bombing over Berlin, didn't want that, so he took the option to go to Italy. Well, I'm not sure about this now. It's sort of, I'm going to have to let it fester in my mind.
Stop looking at that little dog in the phone.
I've got. Have I lost the? I think, as I say, I'll make the mistake so you don't. I think the thing, my crucial error here, and which I'll fix when it's all bone dry later, is make the background light. Yeah. Knock it back to make the hang on, let's see if we can do it. If tone the background, don't be afraid to make the background really pale.
Yeah, the fence is quite washed out, isn't it? So
No,
German.
I'm thinking just from pure artistic. This paper doesn't like me doing this. I think I've ruined it now. Never mind. Needs more TLC. I'll have to do it with our favourite colour, I think. Where's the tube? Yeah, we'll have to knock. So when you do yours, ooh, did you see that? Caught on camera, that one.
You got bird droppings on it now.
See, it's a slug. Have you ever seen a slug? But what you're going to have to do is make sure that the background is much lighter than the flower, so that it introduces the flower better. I mean, I'm spoiling this a bit, but
flowers nice.
But it'll come back. I'll mask it out. But if you can see straight away, as you put the, we won't give up yet. Still got a few minutes.
More emphasis on the flower.
Yeah, concentrate on make the background much lighter. Let's see if I can put. I'll mask it back out. I'll probably. I think someone said earlier that I always have to do 2 of these. I think that stuck in my mind as I was painting it. And I'm probably thinking, oh, it's all right, Dave, you've got to do 2 anyway. But if you see what I'm saying, that as soon as you do that, the flower will come back out. So when you do yours, make sure you, what's it? Need the doodah brush. Oh, come on. There he is. Lost your doodah brush. Hell of a state. I was hoping to be able to put some more streaky bits back in.
That's good.
Should be all right. Well, I've got bits of paper floating over where they need to dry off and sort themselves out. And yeah, so if you make the fence much lighter, it'll make the flower stand out better, especially in watercolor. It's all right for Chris. You can just sort of go over it in pen and start again. And focus on the joins of the wood, not the
Master of the stones.
bit more brown. Bit more brown. Come on, Dave, get some brown. I don't know where it is. Trying to put some brown in it. Very art school this is now. Well, I'm not giving up. We don't do things like that. But if the point I'm trying to make is, if you make the background much lighter, make the washes really loose, really lighter, and then the flower will look better. It's sort of like a fence. I'm getting.
I didn't have a twist on.
That parrot was back then, wasn't it? What was
Yeah, me too. I've got the chair today.
I can't. What I'm struggling with is getting the green that I'd like to use on the flower.
It's a very strange green, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like a sort of mint green almost, isn't it?
It's meridian and viridian. It's viridian green. So what you're looking for is, if you start off with a tube of viridian, which is the one colour I've never had in my palette.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists do. It's brighter than the brightest green until you add another colour to it.
It's a very blue green.
Viridian, I think. Yeah, that'll.
For C.
All I need to do is think about the background a bit now. Just add a bit more bluey bits onto this. Dab them in. Let's go for contemporaryism rather than pure realism for now. Love it. That's better. Go on, Dave. You can do it. Don't give up. No, and then what we'll do, just for fun, we'll find a bit of shadow tone, which is that colour somewhere around here. It's a bit between grey and the pinky colour, and we'll stick a bit of a shadow in there. Come on, boys, you can do it. And in there, and then extend that. Clean water, clean water. We have no clean water. Hello, they're back. Bit more shadow. There we go. Still waiting for me second jab.
I've just had mine.
Have you?
Yeah, last week I had a phone call from the doctors out of the blue saying did I want it that afternoon. So along I went.
Did you have any effects?
I did this time. I felt really tired and achy the next day.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah.
Mine was less than before. The second one was hardly any side effect at all.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they say you either get it with one or the other, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. I got it with the first.
Which one have you had?
I had the Oxford one.
I had the Pfizer.
Oh,
yeah, I had the Pfizer.
So I have symptoms with both of them then.
Yeah.
Classic. I'm optimistic that I'll get mine before December anyway.
Next week, I think.
I haven't got my appointment yet, but I think it'll probably be another couple of weeks before the 12 weeks is up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
mine was early. I think they must have had a cancellation and were ringing round to see if anybody
yeah,
wanted to go.
that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
My
think.
husband went early as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that. Let's take that one off.
Good.
Put that one there. It ain't looking as bad as I thought it was going.
No,
I'm.
no,
I'm not.
it's really good.
What I could do, there's loads of options. For example, there's no reason I'm doing this exercise to enthuse, but you could add a little bit of shadow behind it as well, if it'll work. Very faint. Intimation.
I
Might
think the
work.
poppy would be brighter,
Yeah, well,
more pink.
I can't do that because
Oh,
it's all soaking wet and the paper is so stressed. But yeah, it's in my mind's eye to redo it. But the or in my, I might do paint it white and try and bring it back. But then I'm not doing watercolor then.
no.
Or when it gets dry, I could easily. Carol would probably do it anyway, and why not? Get a bit of pastel,
Pastel.
which will give it some serious. What time is it?
12 o'clock.
I'll dry this off, and we'll do it anyway. If I can dry it.
It's very sad to me. That is a little sad puppy on its own. It's the whole point of it, really. It's a lonely little puppy.
Go on, hairdryer. Get in there. Do your stuff. Right. Yeah, what we could. I'll do it anyway because just to. Ugh. Got stuff on. Dave. Need to find a nice. Problem is, I don't think I've got a pastel that relates to that colour.
It's like a permanent rose, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got a pinky one. That, yeah, but you can easy. What you could do is go back to the roots what I always say about. Should have thought of this, Dave, an hour ago. If I find the thing with poppies, if someone had said to me earlier on, "How do you paint a poppy, Dave?" I would have said the way I always do mine. I'll do it now. Bit late, but the way I always do my poppies is I paint them yellow. Paint them yellow. Come on, Dave, get in there with that yellow. Oh, it's going in. I want to keep it. But the thing is, I want the yellow to stay damp. Is I paint them yellow. Go on, get in there. And then while the yellow's wet, drop the red in. And it gives them that extra. You get that glow underneath. So what I've done, effectively, I can't.
Change the puppy.
I mucked up the colour that I wanted initially because of the painting over it. But you can do it if you underpaint it yellow, and then drop the red on top. This will give us a more traditional type poppy, but so it's definitely not a wild poppy now.
It is a wild poppy now.
You got it the wrong way around.
Something like that.
We're back to the British Legion now.
Well, this one's, I'm going to say this is a memorial piece for old Phil.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, so yeah, that's, and then we can drop in extra yellows or darks wherever I want and spread it around. Lift off. Da, 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 da. I watched too much Count Arthur Strong. That's my trouble. So you'll have to, if you've got Amazon Prime, you can watch it.
No, I cancelled it.
Yeah.
What is it? What is
Count
it?
Count Arthur Strong. It's the most amazing program.
What's that about?
He's an English comedian, Steve Delaney. I can't describe it. You have to watch it, but just be amazed. It's like nothing else you've ever seen on comedy front before. Well, so trust me, it's mad. But in a nice way. It's not. No, I can't describe it. It is really. It's brilliant. There's a black hand.
Right, okay.
How do you find it best to help him to sit up? Because I don't want to hurt him. Like, when I go
Anybody inspired to go and paint poppies?
I
think I've set the challenge. That's for sure.
I was going to paint them on my side gate all of a sudden last summer. My new side gate. I still haven't done anything with it.
That would have been quite spectacular, Chris.
Sorry?
That would have been quite nice.
Yeah, I kept changing my mind what I wanted to paint on it. So, it's big gates.
Go back on the sponge.
Maybe this summer when it's nice enough to sit out and do it.
Yeah.
A bit cold at the moment.
Yeah.
Surprising, isn't it? How cold it is out there.
Cold wind.
We had snow the other day.
Yeah, we did. We had snow.
I blinked. I missed it.
So many people saying that it is snowing.
Yeah, it was. We were sat in Kingston later. Well, Gordon was out in the snow with the dog, and I was sat in the car. And it all came down. It didn't settle or anything, but.
No.
Heaven forbid. Wouldn't do that in Dorset. I have got pictures. I think I've mentioned before. Well, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before of Mudderford Quay in the snow.
Yeah. That's unusual.
Well, exactly. That's why I've never bothered painting it.
No.
Because I can't see it being a bestseller somehow.
No.
I mean, a beach out in the snow just don't work for me. I'm afraid.
Doesn't sound right, does it?
No, it didn't look right either. It was a great novelty for someone like me who lives there, but close by. But as a object of art to flog, I'm thinking, yeah, you would sell it eventually, but I couldn't see it happening quickly.
No.
Da, da, da. Right. I'm gonna hand this over to you guys. I've cogitated, stressed,
messed about,
but I'm not despondent. I think at some point I'll when it dries, I think the pastel route could be interesting to tidy up a few areas. Yet to be decided. Maybe the greens on those poppies, on the foliage, I can add a few extra highlights.
Maybe it into a wild poppy. It would be greener, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Change the green altogether.
So I can start finding some more information on those. I'm not despondent about that. I've made that bit darker, and I don't. The path bit, you could have some lines. I've tried to make them coming away from the fence.
Yeah.
You can see I've done it there, and it sort of gives it more three-dimensional feel. So
looks very good from a distance.
oh, don't you start.
Right.
Actually, it's starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's a red poppy, it looks much better.
Well, I did. Why didn't you tell me at the beginning? If someone had asked me, Dave, how would you paint a poppy? If I was in a show or something, I said, well, I always do mine, paint them yellow, and then drop the red in because it blends and does all kinds of weird and wonderful things.
But we weren't painting that sort of poppy at the beginning.
I don't. Yeah, well, I didn't know. It's just a poppy to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I quite like that now.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've set the challenge. The gauntlet's down.
You certainly have.
Oh,
I
it won't
can't
be
see.
that easy.
I'm going to have a look at the screen.
I think I'll paint a blue poppy, I think.
I could. What's it like if I just go in one?
Good.
Yeah, it looks very good. You're very clever at rescuing.
All paintings are like that. And I tell you what, the thing about that is, Anne, is don't panic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there is a tendency to sort of go, your blood pressure goes up, your breathing suddenly goes wonky, and you feel faint.
Oh dear.
But if you can get beyond that,
Yeah. Pick yourself up off the floor.
well, Gordon gets it. You get it when you play in a band.
Yeah.
Like you start playing a song and the singer sings it in a different key. Or the bass player's playing one bloody tune and you're playing the right one. It could be the other way around, but very rare that happened. So, you have to live, well, then, the cheeks on your bum go tight and you got to do something quick, haven't you?
Oh dear.
But I quite like that now. Yeah.
Oh, it looks lovely.
And plus the fact it's a strange perspective as well, because we're painting looking down on it. So there is that as well.
Very tricky to do.
I'm quite pleased with that now. Space, the final frontier. Yeah, I'm quite chuffed. I'll do some teasing on that over the next days. Well, paper's all wobbly at the moment. Even though I've dried it, it still needs to re-stretch itself to it's at the top there, it's all sort of like this. Once it stretches itself back.
Not as bad as my one, that beach one.
What, the Barbados?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that one at all.
No, I've got some brown tape now.
Yeah, because you can take. That's what I said. That's what I was saying to you on Facebook. You can. Yeah. You should stretch the paper. That water acrylic paper as well. stick it
Yeah,
down.
I didn't realise you had to stretch acrylic paper.
It does
I
work
don't
better.
very often. Well, in the past, I haven't very often used the paper. I always use canvas or canvas boards. I don't really like doing it on the paper. Not bigger things. Smaller ones are okay because it's usually thicker paper. You know, it's not so flimsy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've bought some more canvas boards and I bought some brown sticky tape. So.
Yeah, I
Gum.
must get some of that brown tape.
Oh, I just ordered some. Mine came yesterday, thank goodness.
The roll I get is about 6 inches wide.
Yeah, so I was amazed how big it was. About £8,
good.
I think it was.
Yeah, get it on eBay. It'll last about a bloody lifetime.
Yeah, it will with me if I don't bother. If I'm using canvas
Yeah, it will,
boards.
yeah. But even me, I use it a lot, and I've still got quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Do you like
Oh,
my
you
Daleks? Do you
have to
see
wet
my?
that before you put it
this
on,
is-
don't you?
I've got
I noticed
mummy.
your
Do you see
Dalek.
this? I got
Oh,
mummy
yeah.
Dalek, and I looked up, and there was
Baby.
little baby Dalek.
Yeah.
Lovely.
This one, if I put back, it runs around the desk going exterminate. Then when it bumps into something, it turns around and comes the other way.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
It's simple pleasures.
yeah.
Boys and their toys.
Yeah.
Kids buy me them for
Right.
Christmas, don't they? Well, I reckon you guys have got your. This picture is not as hard as the Barbados one, maybe. Even though I made it difficult.
Oh. I
More
dare
difficult
say
than-
something will go wrong. It always does.
That
But it-
marking fluid is
Yes. Oh
Well,
God.
don't-
gonna
yeah,
have
well,
to use it though.
classic error, wasn't it? I forgot to mask the whole flower out. Then got
Yeah,
excited.
Well, I think it's easier if it's a bigger bit, isn't it? Well, I don't know. It's still hard, and all the
tell.
paper comes off as well.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'll give it a
Well,
go.
Yeah.
So when in doubt, just to hairdryer it first, warm
Yeah, I
it
was
up.
gonna say that might
Oh,
help.
does that help? Right. Okay, then. I'd better go now. Then I've got the carer here for Peter.
All right, okay.
Oh
So-
boy, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hope
All
you
right,
see
then.
you.
Right.
Next week, then. Okay, then. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Looks like I'm heading for clear sky again.
I've got to go and pick dandelions in the morning.
Yes, please. Warm up before you eat them.
Sorry?
I said it's too cold for him to eat.
Oh, it's for the tortoise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want me to dig them out so you've got plants?
No, we got plenty of dandelion plants.
Oh, all right then.
Just haven't grown yet.
No, just pick them. That'd be lovely. Just a few. Don't go mad though, because he's not eating that much.
No, just leaves.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
We'll see you then. Yeah. Have a good
Okay,
one,
then.
everybody.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay then.
Right
Bye,
then.
everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, David.
Bye, David.
See you later. Go get the kettle on.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
Good luck.
Doodaloo.